So we are calling these first impressions. We are not calling it feedback, because feedback means people should have spent more time, experienced the whole of the tool, which they have not had the time. That is the reality. But what do they think? Because we had 2-3 things which we wanted to ask the firms. First is, what do you think about the content which is there? Okay? And what benefit do you feel as a user from this particular content? What is the ease of use of this content? Is it relevant to you? Is it easy to use? These are the feedbacks which we wanted. And these feedbacks have honestly been provided by the audit firms themselves. We never went to the firms, they recorded themselves and they shared it with us. Some of my team members have not even seen these feedbacks because we got them just yesterday, sort of thing. So these are genuinely first impressions, and as we move along, maybe I'll jump the gun and tell straight away. We are doing discuss the pricing also, no? Isn't it?
Yeah, that's there after this.
Yeah. So we want more people to give us the feedback, because as I told, we believe that this tool can become more powerful with more feedback coming from the users. What practical things which you face is this tool not addressing, we'll try to see what best can be done in that. That is our whole idea. So we want more firms to participate in this particular process so that we get more feedback. That is our idea. But these are first impressions. Please don't take it as feedback, because they would have spoken nicely. Take it with a pinch of salt, because you have to use it, experience it to see how relevant or how correct that particular first impression is.
Hi, I'm Ramlan Venkat from J & Associates. I work as a senior audit executive here. First off, I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to contribute my insights to help improve the ADOC software. I also want to commend the team for developing such an innovative and promising software solution. During the testing process, I had the opportunity to experience its various features and functionalities. I would like to delve into some specific observations and suggestions based on my user experience. The software's interface and features convey information in a clear and organized manner, and navigating through the software and understanding the engagement file is easy. The interface elements like drop-down lists, menus, buttons are self-explanatory. The performance of the software is very quick and responsive, where navigation as well as opening files loaded promptly. And we did not experience any cases of lags, crashes, or unresponsive files. The software's error handling capabilities was on point, and the pop-up error message was clear and indicative enough to recover smoothly. The software had all the required features to fulfill its intended purposes, although we noted a few minor inconsistencies. The logical workflow, right from gentle guidance to client acceptance, continuance, to understanding the business, its environment, understanding account balances, assessing risk of frauds, designing documentation and testing procedures for substantive testing, TOCs, etc., were very streamlined, and it gave a clearer macro picture of the entire audit. Since the software supports real-time synchronizations, changes made in one system is easily and quickly reflected in other connected systems. If this software integrates with the present systems, this would help in seamless data exchange, as it provides a well-documented and robust interface. It would streamline the workflow and also allow users to access relevant information or functionalities in a cohesive manner, and would enhance productivity. Overall, the intuitive interface, coupled with its powerful features, made it a pleasure to work with. I believe that this software has the potential to greatly benefit users in streamlining their workflow and achieving their goals.
Hi, I am Arun from J & Associates. I work as an audit manager. I had an opportunity to test and evaluate the features and functionalities of the ADOC tool. I am genuinely impressed by its outstanding performance and the immense value it brings to our profession. First and foremost, I want to appreciate your team's dedication and expertise in crafting such a comprehensive and user-friendly audit tool. The thoughtful design and the functionality reflect a deeper understanding of the challenges being faced by small and mid-sized firms, and your solution effectively addresses these challenges, streamlining the audit process and maximizing efficiency. Throughout my testing process, I was consistently impressed by its tool's interface, which allowed for seamless navigation and ease of use. The logical features, including client acceptance, understanding the entity and its environment, risk assessment, planning, all the way till the audit reporting, and the well-organized layout contributed to an enhanced user experience. It is evident that greater care has been taken to ensure that the auditors can effectively utilize this tool regardless of their level of technical expertise. While the documentation covers majority and all the possible risks across each cycle, it is not restricting the user from adding additional risk, which will not hinder the logical thinking of the audit team. The comprehensive documentation and the user guides provided would greatly benefit users of the audit tool. The detailed instructions have been given in most of the work papers will help fully leverage the tool's capabilities and maximize its potential benefits. One of the standout features of the audit tool is its robustness and reliability. In conclusion, I want to express my sincere appreciation for the opportunity to test and evaluate the exceptional audit tool. The level of innovation, attention to detail, and user-centric approach that went into the development are truly praiseworthy. I am confident that this tool will revolutionize the audit profession, empowering auditors to deliver even higher standards of accuracy, efficiency, and value to their clients.
Hi, I'm Aradhana Ashok, partner in JA & Associates. We're a mid-sized firm of 150 employees, and about 1/3 of our employees are focused on delivering audit. We seek to grow as an audit firm, with audit being one of our core practice areas. With this in perspective, the audit professionals today are faced with many challenges: higher responsibility, higher accountability, and higher risks. As an audit signing partner, it becomes all the more important for someone like me to ensure that the audit procedures we do, the audit methodologies we follow, actually document and test all these risks that we're talking about. Does it flow in the right place in the audit planning? Does it flow through for the work papers? Does it flow through in the audit work paper conclusions? And hence, it would directly impact the audit opinion. It is also to be noted that the team of members who work on this audits are generally of varied degrees of experience. The exposures they have are across various industries and a bit diverse in nature. There is also the audit profession is also today facing a lot of attrition, and hence there is a need for training people, upskilling people, ensuring that they are constantly updated with all the changes that comes out in the regulatory environment, technical, various other regulations, and it is done in a timely fashion. So with this in mind, JA as a firm has been reviewing various tools to see how best we can get to this point. Of late, we have had the opportunity to review ADAT, ADOC. ADAT, I understand, is going to come at a later point in time, but we had the opportunity to, ADOC, which is the precursor, we had an opportunity as a team to review that. As an audit signing partner and from all the perspectives we discussed, I was very happy with my initial review of that. I personally went through the content. The content itself is amazing. It's a wealth of information, is a wealth of guidance for the audit teams to sort of approach the audit in a structured and a step-by-step fashion. It also takes care of some amount of the training, some amount of the risk coverage and other things that we talked about. I'm also happy to note that maybe I can put even a fresher on a job and expect a certain amount of minimum audit quality to come out of something like this. So we are very excited to look at the final tool when it comes out, and we are, the team that is developed this is eminent bunch of professionals who are, I'm sure, going to keep updating the product, updating the requirements on the regulatory front, and giving us those timely assistance to take this forward. I can't wait to review the actual tool itself. Thank you.
Hi all. I would take an opportunity to thank Balaji and team for bringing such a wonderful audit tool which helps the auditor to do the comprehensive audit in a simple manner. It is a cloud-based software and a simple Excel tool which has all the checklist for references. Further, all the audit documents is available under a single roof, which helps for the audit trail and keeps the track and record of the same. Thanks for the team for such a wonderful.
The audit documentation tool is a pool of content which helps the auditor to perform the audit from the planning stage to the reporting stage effectively. Training to use this tool is very easy as the templates are in the form of MS Excel and it comes along with a detailed instruction manual. It has sampling templates, comprehensive checklist, which helps the auditors to document their work consistently and reduces the review time. Only access is given to the authorized users, makes it secure and confidential. Thank you.
First of all, heartily congratulations to Mr. Balaji and his entire team for successfully launching the much awaited audit tool. It comprises of robust systems and process inbuilt which will facilitate the statutory audit documentation in a more efficient and complete manner. The documentation comprises of planning, execution and conclusion, which in turn includes various checklists, TOC, materiality, substantive testing, guidance, observations and conclusion reporting and much more features which will ensure the completeness of the audit documentation in a more organized way. To summarize, it will ensure that the large, medium size audit documentation is more efficient and organizedly done to ensure that the complete workflow of the audit is taken care in one single tool. Thank you for the opportunity to share the experience and wishing the entire team a flourishing success.
Happy evening. As a limited period, we have been using the ADOC audit software. I think the entire life cycle of an audit is being captured very well in the software. I think it serves all the purposes. Take a QRB review, or it can be NAFRA, or it can be peer reviews. It's well planned software. Even untrained resources can use this and learn to do the audit very well, because every step-by-step definitions are given, how to do audit is given, how to identify risks have been. The moment they start answering all those questions, I think it's very clear that very well layout plan is there in the software. Plus initially there is a possibility that we think it might take quite a bit of a time, but however the fruits will start reaping in the next years. That planning time will be substantially less because all the things are documented. I think very well planned software. I think thumbs up.
I'm working with Lothan but as an article assistant. I got a chance to work on a tool named ADOC, which is prepared by True and Fair Professional Networks. So I worked on a module called Trial Balance module, which will help us to prepare trial balance very easily. That it will help us to categorize the trial balance items by putting subcategory only. Then there is a sheet called testing sheet, which will give a summarized comparison between previous year and current year balances, which will help us to prepare the lead sheet. But it will be more useful when these balances is auto-populated into substantive testing sheets. After completing this, we will come to substantive testing. There I worked on a module called sampling module, which will help us to select samples in two methods, that is MUS and random sampling method. So in this module, they have given proper instructions which will help everyone to select sample easily by using this module. And one more thing I found in this module very useful is it will throw up an error when there is a mismatch between the list of items which we put, total of the list of items which we put, and the population total which we put in the initial stage of this module. And this will help us to find the mistakes which we did, and we can correct it in the initial stage only. After completing substantive testing and analytical procedures, we will come to the conclusion of the audit. At the time, we will get a module called conclusion module, which will be giving a summarized view of total corrected mistakes and total corrected misstatements and total uncorrected misstatements, which will help us to compare the total uncorrected misstatements and the materiality, and it will help us to take the necessary actions for further audit conclusions. Thank you.
I'm Bhagyashree MD, working with Lotha but as a senior manager. When I worked on ADOC software, I found it's a very valuable tool for end-to-end documentation of audit procedure. It gives clear and informative checklist from the planning to reporting. It has checklists for planning the audit, independence of the auditor, understanding the entity and its environment, other auditing procedures like test of control, substantive test, and reporting. When I talk about understanding the accounting balances, which gives the interim balances, extrapolated balances, which helps us to identify the unusual movement in the balances and to perform our analytical audit procedures and plan our audit tests. It gives comprehensive checklist for the risk identified throughout the audit period. I also found checklist on standard on audit and checklist on financial statement, which is prepared on an Ind AS basis. I suggest the developer to develop the checklist on accounting standard and checklist on the financial statement, which is prepared on an AS basis, because normally small and medium companies will follow AS financial statements. It gives the checklist and documentation for not only standalone financials, and it's also for the consolidated financials. That I found very useful.
Hi, I'm Mangala Rao, partner Lodha and Bhatt. As one of the audit partners in Lodha and Bhatt, I am always looking at how do we improve audit quality, how do we ensure that we've actually identified all risks of material misstatement, identify appropriate procedures, and then ensure that the reporting, quality checks, conclusion is all appropriate, how to deliver quality audit. And when we think through all this, we are looking for a robust and good planning, execution, and reporting tool, which makes life easier as well as guides us well through the whole process. I find on a quick review of ADOC that it does seem to address that need that we have. If you look at the words like AQMM, ISQM, that sound scarier these days, having good planning and ensuring good documentation will always help us be in compliance with those requirements. I think ADOC can help a long way in that. What did I like particularly about ADOC? At a partner level, the fact that it addresses the need to have detailed discussions with those charged with governance. It helps us look at what could be the possible fraud risks, how is the management identifying them and mitigating them, what audit procedures should we do to ensure that the fraud risks are mitigated. Now all of this seemed very important and refreshing. I would suggest that all experienced and seasoned auditors should also look at ADOC once to understand the guidance that it provides and how it helps us as a ready reckoner throughout the audit. So these are the few thoughts that I had on ADOC. Thank you to all at True and Fair Professional Networks for letting us know about ADOC.